What's up, guys? It's been a minute. This is a more long-winded video. I've never done anything even remotely similar to this before. I don't know how good it is. I tried my best. I had fun while making it. Other than that, I'm back again on Twitch because I'm in my new place. If you couldn't notice, it really doesn't look much different. Just a white background. Different color walls. There's a window in a different place off that direction. But other than that, let's get into the video. Don't bully me too hard in the comments, and link to the Twitch is in the description below. Fair warning before we jump into the video, I skipped day 0 because this is called 100 days, not 101 days. Day 0 is just spent gathering, wood, getting your basic stone tools. That's why the first footage you'll see is me already having stone tools. With that being said, let's get into it. Day 1 was spent doing all the things you do on the first day of a Minecraft world. Finding food, exploring your starting area, slaughtering the innocent. Essentially, just doing all the things you need to do in order to survive in a hardcore Minecraft world. There really isn't a lot to say about day 1. All I really did was, I made a smoker. I cooked some food in said smoker. I ran around like an idiot. I killed my first mob. It was a creeper. And I placed a bed, and I slept in the bed, as you do with beds, And without anything else much happening, it was day 2 already. Wow, time's really flying. Day 2 is spent doing a lot of exploring and mining, basic day 2 stuff. Also, fun fact, I found a ruined portal at the top of a hill in day 2. I didn't know it at the time, but just to the right of this portal, there's a little hill. I flattened it off, and I was gonna build my home there. It ain't much, but it's mine. Did a little more terraforming of the terrain, to make said house fit on such a tiny little peak. I don't know why I chose such a tiny little peak, but I did. After that, I walked literally like 15 paces from my base and found this absolutely gargantuan chasm in the earth. The new world generation in 1.118 or 1.18, astounding, incredible. This is amazing. Nothing else really happened day 2. I got a little bit of iron in a cave, and then I just placed a bed and slept through the night again. Only difference being this time the bed was placed in its permanent, semi-permanent location. On day 3, I knew I wanted to build my house out of spruce, but I didn't have any yet, so I had to go on a little bit of an adventure to find some. On the way, I decided it was a good idea because I wanted to make a farm soon. I just kind of beat the shit out of a bunch of grass and stole the seeds. And I got a little bit sidetracked after I found the spruce. I found another giant chasm in the earth, and I figured, what the hell? I'll go down here and I'll see what I gotta do. Upon descending into the cave, I fought a lot more things than I realistically should have been able to, or should have even tried to do, if I wanted to actually survive 100 days. But, I survived, and I got a bunch of ore out of it. This cave was huge, by the way. I can't show all of the exploration, otherwise the video would be way, way, way too long. But, kudos to the World Generation team. This is incredible. Day 4. Day 4 was a very productive day. I put the foundation or the floor plan on the ground for my house out of cobblestone. I went down below my base, grabbed a bucket of water so I could make a farm, tilled the ground, picked out a little area, not necessarily in that order. I also started digging a mine shaft right beside my farm so I could get down into the belly of the beast safely and easily. Yeah, like I said, very productive day. Lots of things happening. But that's the end of it. On to day 5, baby. Day 5 was interesting. I chopped down one of those big spruce trees and climbed my way up to the top of it and just kind of surveyed the world I was dropped into. I gotta say, man, pretty nice looking world. But enough of that. I finished cutting down the tree. After I cut down the tree, I put up the support pillars on the side of my house, or the framework of my house, essentially. I don't have the footage of me doing that. I don't know exactly when I did it. Presumably right after I cut down the tree. I don't know where the footage went. Shit happens. Then I went back down into the mine shaft I was digging, and I ran into a little bit of a problem. I dug straight into an underwater reservoir, and you know me, I'm stubborn. I went straight through it. It was really annoying, but I think it was worth it in the end for the straight shot down to bedrock. After doing that, I placed a bunch of stone stairs to make going in and out of the mine easier, and then I climbed back up, saw the moon in the sky, and shut my eye. Well, actually eyes, but who's counting? The morning of day 6 was spent fighting off explosive green penises. Then I stumbled back down into the mine shaft to try to get it done. Turns out 64 extra blocks is a lot of extra blocks to dig. Eventually, I did get it done though. If by done you mean almost falling into an endless void of pain and suffering. I made a little bit of a sky bridge, or I guess more accurately speaking, a cave sky bridge, maybe? It works. I finished the staircase all the way down to the deep dark, aka the new biome in 1.18, and it's full of deep slate. This is good. I needed deep slate for my house, which is what we're going to start doing in day 7. Like I said earlier, first thing I did day 7 was start placing the deep slate around the ring of my house. I also finished placing the stairs in the top layer of the mine. I also built a cow pen and led some cows into it as a form of sustenance for later, and I tried and failed to make the inside of my house look less ugly. I've never been the best at interiors in Minecraft, but come on. I'm pretty limited in my resources this early on. By some miracle of the Lord, day 8 is completely lost to time. I have no idea where it went. We're skipping to day 9. Day 9, I ventured down into the caves again, coincidentally, also the day I figured out that torches are a man's best friend. After rooting around down there for God knows how long, my efforts were rewarded by glorious cyan stones. Only 2 of them though, so nothing too crazy. I kept venturing down into the caves in hopes of finding more diamonds, and I found a bunch of mobs and almost died multiple times. It was all worth it in the end, though, because I came out of the cave a rich man with exactly 13 diamonds to my name. With those diamonds stored away, we finally get to the double-digit numbers, day 10. Since we'd finally reached double-digit numbers, I felt it appropriate to splurge. I made myself some blast furnaces, a diamond pickaxe, and then I set out on adventures to find float copper, because I wanted to make my floor out of copper blocks. I was also really short on coal, because apparently it doesn't spawn a lot in the deep slate biome, and I would find that alongside with the float copper. After doing that all day, I was pretty sure I had enough copper to finish my floor, and I got a bunch of coal as well. I started heading home as the light was waning on my 10th day of survival. On the 11th day, I harvested some of the wheat farm and used it to breed the cows, and then I crafted the copper I had smelted into copper blocks and placed them on my floor. I also tried to figure out what I was going to do with the second level of my house. I've never built this house before. I'm just kind of winging it. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing so far. On the next day, aka day 11, I went back down into the mine, 1 to light it up and 2 to get more deep slate to finish my house. At some point, I made a sugarcane farm right next or right above my mine shaft, and I also put a fancy little cap on my mine shaft. I don't know how I missed that, but now you see it. At some point, it seems I acquired obsidian, and now I'm making an enchanting table because it's high time we got some basic enchantments. I also went down into the mine to get 4 deep slate for the 4 blocks that I was missing from my last adventure. 13th day was spent entirely strip mining, so I'm not going to bore you with the details. Did end up finding some diamonds though, so I had a good time. When I eventually emerged from the mines, it was day 14, it was raining, I was a little bit richer, and a little bit less mentally stable. I placed deep slate stairs all throughout the mine. Look at this, looks pretty good. I can go up, and up, and up. I kinda like it. I culled some of my herd today. I didn't enjoy doing it, but I was hungry. After that, I went to cook them, and I kinda just stared at the furnace. I couldn't tell you why. Maybe I was doing something in real life. Who knows? At the end of day 14, I started making a path in between my front door and the ruined portal because I was going to fix it up and make it my own. The next day, I finished the path. I also made the ruined portal area look a little bit fancier because I'm a sucker for the good looks. I then went into the nether just to see what was up. We spawned in a soul sand valley. Not ideal, so I left immediately. All I did on day 16 was go down to a lake below my house and grab some sand so I could make windows, and then I just went AFK. Don't know why. At the end of day 17, I walked out on my path to observe my handiwork and realized it was a little bit lopsided, but I'll fix that later. You probably won't be able to see it, but on day 18 I did fix the lopsided nature of the windows, and I'm starting the roof. Now everyone knows roofs are the hardest part about a Minecraft house, and this is absolutely no exception. It took me forever to figure out the shape I wanted. 19 was also spent role-playing as a roofer, but at the end I walked out onto the path again to see my handiwork. I'm liking how it's turning out. I actually ended up finishing the roof at the end of day 19 and once again stood out on the path and you know, it's nothing special, it's nothing crazy, but I like the way it looks. It's pretty good for something I didn't plan out at all. Day 20 was spent doing some detailing on the house. I added some windows to the basement floor because I liked the way that looked, and I added some sort of trim to my bed in the basement, or the ground floor more accurately. This is the real icing on the cake here, though. I saw this in a YouTube video once. I hung my enchanting table and bookshelves from the ceiling, and I think it's going to look really good when it's done. Day 21, I noticed that my diamond pickaxe was about to break, so I made a new one and I also enchanted it with my new and improved enchanting area. I also tamed a horse on day 21, tamed the fastest one I could find, and I absolutely unequivocally did not harm any other animals while trying to get this one, I promise. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I then used that horse to go get a bunch more copper at the surface in a faster way than I was before because I severely underestimated the amount of copper that I actually needed to make my floor out of it. As the moon was rising on day 21, I was riding on my horse. I stumbled upon a village and I decided to spend the night there. The villagers allowed it, they were very hospitable people. I tied up my horse and then went into a house. I didn't even have to force one of the villagers out of the bed. So kind. The next morning, the hospitality of the villagers did not go unnoticed. I certainly wanted to thank them for their efforts. I did so by first blowing up one of their houses and slaughtering one of the innocent. I then proceeded to steal every single item that they owned, and yes, that included the hay bales, because Lord knows I was hungry and they didn't need it. And then I rode back off towards home on my horse like nothing ever happened. I fell into a hole on the way back home. That was annoying. Had to build a staircase to get my horse out of it. I did make it home eventually, though, and what a glorious home it is. Just take a look at that big floating tree. Wow. When I got home, I remembered I had some horse armor in that chest by the nether portal, so I put that on. Horse is looking pretty neat now. I should probably name this thing at some point. At the end of day 21, I made some more blast furnaces and tried to rearrange the furnaces in my house to make it look better, to no avail yet again. I then went to bed, and the next morning the first thing I did was place my hard-earned hay bales on the side of my house for aesthetic purposes. Then I realized I was an idiot, and you get 4 cut copper for every solid copper block you have, so I didn't actually need all that copper, and I finished my floor. It doesn't look all that special right now, but trust me, when it oxidizes, it may perhaps look a little better. I decided to grab some leaves from the giant spruce tree outside and place them around my base as kind of bushes. Eventually I want to put glowstone under these, but I'm poor and do not have glowstone. I placed some more bookshelves in my enchanting area at the end of the day, and then I went to bed to start the next one. First thing I did the next day was rearrange the furnaces. I think they look better here. Then I had another brilliant idea. I'm gonna hang my chest from the ceiling. Can't believe I didn't think of this before. It's brilliant. That right there, my friends, is the end of day 25. We are officially a quarter of the way through this adventure. On day 26, I did some more house remodeling. Obviously, you want to make your house look good. I didn't have the clay that I wanted to make some flower pots, so I went down to the river and got some. I slapped that raw clay in the furnaces, made some bricks, and made some flower pots. Our house is starting to look pretty good, if I do say so myself. Day 27 was a mining day. I went down into the very expansive cave system near my base and I got as much coal, iron, anything I could get my hands on, really. And then when I was done, I came out of the cave and I built a sheep farm. And I got sheep to put in the sheep farm because those are a very important part of a sheep farm. They loved it, you can tell. Just look at the hearts above their heads. Day 28, I finally wanted to go start exploring the nether, so I crafted a bow to deal with all those pesky ghasts. I also enchanted said bow. Power 3, not bad. Had a pretty close call with some piglins when I was in the nether. I found a bastion. I knew these things were dangerous. Those piglin brutes can make pretty quick work of you no matter what you're wearing. Hey, speak of the devil, there's one now. I used my brain, quick thinking, ran away, trapped them. I won. I won because I am a winner, and I am a winner because I won. Enough about that though. I know the loot is what you guys want to see, so here it is. See? I knew this bow would come in handy. I took out 2 piglin brutes with it. Easy as pie. Okay, technically the magma killed the second one, but let's be honest, I did most of the work. I'm counting it for me. The end of day 28 and the start of day 29 was spent back in the caves. I haven't explored even a little bit of this cave yet. It is absolutely massive. I don't think I'm ever going to map it all, but I only managed to find 2 veins of diamonds while I was down there. I came out of the mines and I placed 2 armor stands in my house just to make it look a little bit better, and then I went right back down in there. I found 1 more vein of diamonds. And then with absolutely no warning, this little maniac fell from the sky and damn near blew my balls clean off. Bro, sometimes Minecraft just does you dirty. I guess that's how it goes. In other news, look at this dripstone cave I found. Pretty neat. And then guess what I found? A little squishy fella. They're so adorable. They just sit over there and bounce around. It's all they do, man. It's their God-given purpose. Oh yeah, and then the skeleton knocked me out of this water thing and I almost hit the ground and died. We're back to scary Minecraft. I found a few more veins of diamonds while I was down in the cave. Let me just mention once more how good the world generation is in this new update. Look at this. Just look at what I'm running through. It's nuts. When I finally emerged from the cave again, it was day 31. Then I crafted a quick set of diamond to slap on an armor stand on my base. Looks pretty good, don't it? I re-enchanted my pickaxe. Got a really good roll. I also put a banner on my shield. Don't know why. Thought it would look good. I think it does. Then I ended up going on a crazy wild horse adventure taking me God knows where. It led me to this ship. I stayed there. It was dark and scary outside. Found some treasure from a map in the ship. Pretty neat stuff. Found another ship, a little soggier than the other one, but I still looted it. I was still out on my horse adventure on day 34. I found a dog, did my lucky dog dance, and then tamed it in one bone. Now I gotta come up with a name for this guy too. Remember when I said I was gonna name those little fellas? Well, when I got home, I decided that's exactly what I was gonna do, and I affectionately called them Brenda and Bartholomew. I made a funky shelf in the back of my home. It appears shortly in day 35. It's the only footage I have of day 35. Day 36 was spent in the nether looking for a nether fortress. I found one, got up in there. I killed some blazes. And some more blazes. Then I found some diamond horse armor in a chest. I bet you Bartholomew will look pretty good in that. I got the Return to Sender achievement, put on the horse armor, and brewed a bunch of weakness potions. I bet you know what I'm doing with these. I finally found a zombie villager, trapped it and cured it. Then I cycled it until I got mending. Took a while, bought a bunch. Went back into the caves, found diamonds and a spawner. Found a couple of underwater diamonds, almost lost one, don't worry, I saved it. When I came out, I smelted everything I got. Extended the path to my farm and my mine shaft, built an overhang at the back of my house, built a weird hole thing, and a scarecrow, and all of a sudden it's day 44. Holy! Built a terrible little XP farm. It kinda works. I got to level 35. Finished the lake outside my house and added a waterfall. I finished one of the rooms in the underground village I'm starting, and then I took a leap of faith that took us into the second half of the video. 50 days, baby! On day 51, I went back out on my horse and found a water temple. I guess that's pretty cool. I also found a jungle, which is what I was looking for, and this funky looking dripstone cave. I farmed a bunch of melons when I was in the jungle, but I also found these neat looking birds. After that, I just kind of went home, because all I really wanted was bamboo. Forgot to mention that. That's why I came here. But look at the birds, man. They're pretty neat. Found a couple of turtles on the way home, realized I had a silk touch axe, and stole their children for later. When I got home, I put the birds on the jukebox and played the best disc in the game and just enjoyed their company. I also found another villager to cure. I then decided it was a good idea to actually build a path down to my little underground village. Put a nice little carpet in the top floor of my house. I built a little pumpkin patch. Then I decided it was finally time to go get netherite, and I dug a hole down to layer 16 in the bottom of the nether. While I was digging down there, I actually ran into a piece of netherite. This is actually quite uncommon. Oh yeah, and I made a path between my portal and the mine, just to get down there faster. I'm not gonna lie, I spent a very significant amount of time in between day 50 and day 75 just digging for netherite. So there's not going to be a lot of footage for those days, but that's alright because this video is already like 20 minutes long, so I don't mind cutting it a bit short here. It wasn't all mining though. I did do some building, like this little map pedestal for later. Then I filled out all the maps with my horse and I put them on. Take a look at that. That's where I live. Right in the middle there. I went back in the mines, got a bunch more netherite, didn't come out till day 63. But I got some cool armor out of it, so it was worth it. Then I named both of my birds. We were all really excited, you can tell. I figured it was about time I dug a basement out under my house. I did that, and then I finished it through movie magic. I brought a bunch of bees home, not really sure what day it is, and then I realized one block in Minecraft is a cubic meter. These bees are almost as big as a block, so they must be absolutely terrifying to behold. You might just die if you got stung by one. I found a really cool underwater cave system, and guess what? There were diamonds in there, so it was worth it. I'm pretty sure this is the 74th day, but I know for a fact that I just went out on my horse to find the stronghold because I planned to fight the dragon at some point and figured I should, be prepared for that, at least know where to go. I found two villages on the way there, and I certainly didn't steal everything they owned. The stronghold actually ended up being really close to my base and having two whole libraries in it. Also, I lied. I went to find the stronghold on day 73. When I got home, though, it was day 75, 3/4 of the way through the video, and I finished my full set of netherite armor, so I was definitely prepared for anything the world could throw at me now. We're starting off the final 75 days with a bunch of shenanigans. First, I cured a zombie villager, put him with the rest of them. Probably will be a librarian, not quite sure yet. Then, I realized all my turtle eggs had hatched, so I jumped in there, spent a bunch of time with them. Don't even care that I'm drowning. They're so small and adorable. Fun fact, they're actually the smallest mob in Minecraft ever. There's nothing smaller. After that, I put a bunch of nighttime lighting around my path. I think it looks pretty good. I don't actually know what day this footage is on. It's sometime after day 75, but I don't actually pull up the F3 menu in any of the footage, so I'm just as lost as you are. You guys remember those bees I got a while back? So I could get their wax and make candles? Well, I was walking down that path, right? And I spotted this one doing some strange bee ritual. I don't really know what it means or what it does, but he gave up eventually, so it mustn't have been that important. That night there ended up being a thunderstorm, so I trapped these creepers in a boat and I placed a lightning rod beside them. I didn't know the boat was going to break. That kind of scared me. These things are 100% capable of one-shotting me through any armor in the game, so I kind of just ran around in a little blind panic for a second. But I composed myself rather quickly. I wanted to charge these creepers because when a mob dies to a charged creeper explosion, it drops its head, and it's the only way to get mob heads like zombies and skeletons, and I think you can even get a creeper's head this way. I'm not actually certain about that one. But I ended up having to make another boat because I didn't bring extra to retrap them. As you can see from this absolutely massive crater in the earth, these charged creepers are absolutely no joke, but right there I got the head. Mission accomplished. The next morning, I spent a bunch of time corralling all these villagers into these holes. I want to make a bunch of librarians, and they are so difficult to work with. Like, just look at this one. He was running circles around me. They're so fast and they're so uncooperative. I had to like break the block. I tried to push him out. That wasn't working. Eventually, I broke the door and he tried to like pathfind, but then he immediately just ran back in, and he did it over and over again. It was so annoying. I hate these things. They suck. There was another thunderstorm, so I trapped another charged creeper in a boat with a zombie, and this time I damaged the zombie first so it would drop its head immediately. There it is in the corner there. Worked pretty good. I eventually did get all the villagers into their little holes. I made a bunch of different designs, but I settled on this one. Don't mind that cobblestone, I know it's ugly. I fix it eventually, I hope. After that, I went into the nether and I wanted to set up a highway on the top of the nether to get to the end portal faster. And if you don't know, you can break bedrock by doing this. I was really excited because it worked first try for me, so I jumped around a bit. The reason I wanted to do that is because you travel 8 times faster in the nether if you take your overworld coordinates and divide the x and the y. No, the x and the z by 8. That's the coordinates in the nether, and you can place a portal there and it'll pop you out wherever you wanted to be in the overworld. So I filled in the portal when I got to the stronghold, and I jumped in. Let's get into this boss fight, baby. I got actually really terrified right there. I thought I was falling through the map and I was going to lose everything. It was gave me a jump. In an ideal world, I'd get to say the dragon fight was fun, But, we've all done the dragon fight before. There's nothing special about it, so I'm gonna speed it up. Try to make it as entertaining as humanly possible by just putting the bits where I did damage. Just get through it as fast as we can. I can use this time to thank anyone who's actually here watching this video to the very end, or to near the end. Thanks for being here. I hope you enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun making it. If you want me to continue, make sure to leave a comment and tell me maybe some build ideas for 200 days if you feel so inclined. After I killed the dragon, I just used the XP to mend my tools. I grabbed the egg, and then I went up through the end gate so I could try to find an elytra. That's correct, the video is not ending at the dragon fight. There's much more to see, so stick around. It did not take me very long to find an end city that had a ship in it, so I walked over to it, and I killed a bunch of shulkers while I was there. They're kind of annoying. They make you levitate, and you can't really do anything about it unless you have a ton of milk. I flawlessed this jump puzzle. Never done that before. It was pretty good. Then I grabbed the elytra. I don't know why I didn't film it, and I almost died jumping off because I didn't put the elytra on for my first test flight like a big dummy. Then I went back through the gateway, headed home, and placed the dragon egg in my house. Then I named and enchanted the elytra with unbreaking and mending. With the dragon dead and gone, our 100-day journey is over. Thank you guys for watching. The rest of the video is just going to be me going through the world to some music. If you want to see part 2, 200 days, leave a comment. If enough people want it, I'll do it. I'm also live every day of the week on Twitch, so come check me out. Enjoy.